Yo, what's good? Top of the top, episode 238, Stash House Podcast. Your boy Tyler checking in. First time listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. If you tune in weekly, salute. And it's just an episode, saw some topics you may want to hear about. Salute to you as well. Podcast available on all podcast streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe, leave comments, reviews. Put your people on. All greatly, greatly appreciated. Last episode of the year. Hope everyone getting prepared for New Year's. Hope everyone had a safe Christmas, all that good stuff. This week episode, jumping head first. College football playoffs, Ohio State, a lot of stuff to talk about. So this is my first time speaking on college football since rivalry weekend. You know what I'm saying? I came in here, Ohio State, we lost to Michigan. This the scenario for the college football playoffs. So I haven't recorded since the top four was announced. I got a lot to say. But first, I got to start with my Buckeyes. A lot of stuff going into the Cotton Bowl game, a lot of news going on at the time I'm recording. You know what I'm saying? I'm recording before the game, obviously. So first thing, the big news, Ohio State, at the time, we've lost 14 players to the transfer portal. Honorable names, we got quarterback Kyle McCord, wide receiver Julian Fleming, running back Chip Traynor, running back Evan Pryor. That's the crazy thing about it. Throughout the season, I've constantly said these names. Kyle McCord, quarterback. Chip Traynor. So, we at that point. The news I'm hearing from Buckeye Nation, not much to be concerned about in terms of school stability, football, the stability of the team, or nothing like that. It's just the way the game is now with the transfer portal. These players want to be in certain systems. These players want certain playing time. You got the transfer portal, make it easier now to get into the system that you think you prefer. We've seen the good and the bad from the transfer portal. So, just how it is now. Of course, Ohio State quarterback Kyle McCord, he's out of there. I can't say I was, down about it when he left. When I saw the news, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Next man up. Next man up or Ryan Day, work the transfer portal. I'm hearing Cam Ward name a lot. We'll see his decision eventually. But it's like, hey, next man up. It wasn't like we lost, C.J. Stroud or nothing like that. I've been saying about Kyle McCord, I don't see it. Your main target, Marvin Harrison Jr., at the time I'm recording, he's yet to say if he's going to the NFL or not. That's your favorite target. You throw to him 90% of the time. I've been saying it's not a bad person to bet on, but spread the ball out so you got more weapons. This team is full of weapons. And for that team to have that much talent around him, the way he came out wasn't as impactful. Moving forward, I was like, I said it. I was like, whether Ryan Day stay or leave, the fact we got Kyle McCord as a quarterback, expectations still mild. You know what I'm saying? We still got to see how it play out. So him leaving, I wasn't really down. I'm guessing Devin Brown will start at the Cotton Bowl against Missouri. But I'm interested to see will we work the transfer portal or will we just stick with what we got. We'll see what happens in terms of quarterback. Julian Fleming, like I said, Ohio State, wide receiver core, got a lot of targets, a lot of weapons. Next man up. Next man up. Same thing at running back. I think Travion Henderson and Mayan Williams probably be out next year in terms of going to the league, I believe. Maybe. We'll see. But, next man up, man. It's time. Outside of Ryan Day, I'm not even talking about, the head coach get fired or not. They just strictly off of players leaving. So, Ohio State, like I said before, a lot to get into this offseason, and we'll see how it play out. In terms of the game against Missouri, just end the season on a high note, no matter who's there. The seniors want to come back for one more last hoorah, go out there and win the game. Nothing else we can do but just win the game. We'll see how everything else play out. So, that's the thing with Ohio State. Now, let's get to the college football playoffs. A lot of stuff transpired, controversial decisions, first-time decisions for the playoff committee, and I call BS on all of it. Me personally, my top four, I had, of course, it's weeks ago. The whole timeline was in commotion when it happened. I stay in Alabama. So, of course, I was seeing more Alabama fans. I was seeing Auburn and Georgia fans give their perspective on the whole situation. I call BS, though. My top 10, my top 4, I'm sorry, after championship weekend, I had Michigan at number 1. I had Washington at number 2. I had Florida State at number 3. And I had Georgia at number 4. My thing was, okay, you wanted Florida State to lose, the committee. I said that when Alabama beat Georgia, I said the committee is hoping and praying Florida State lose. Texas had already won. Georgia lost to Alabama. I think at the time, did Washington already beat Oregon? Yeah, I believe Washington already beat Oregon. So they had a situation on their hand. They wanted Florida State to lose. Their quarterback was hurt. Third string wasn't the best looking game, but yet they were still undefeated and won their conference. And who am I to come on this podcast as an Ohio State fan and say that team do not deserve to be in because they're going with their second string? It's not their third string. Their second string was out because he was on concussion protocol. But he was going to be back in time for the playoff game. So they going in with their second string. Who am I as an Ohio State fan who won the national championship with a third string quarterback say, yo, this team can't be in because their quarterback got hurt? Now you punishing the rest of the teams like, yo, we still got a game to play. And everybody else saying this whole thing about nobody want to see Florida State, nobody want to see. Florida State fans want to probably see their team. You never know what can happen in the game. You got to play the game still. Y'all just going off of, yo, Alabama, Texas, Washington, Michigan, all them teams can beat Florida State. That's just your prediction. How many times have predictions been wrong in football, college football like that? Come on, man. So I didn't agree with it. I said Florida State should have been in. But basically what the committee said, we respect Alabama more than Georgia, Florida State, and Texas. You really got to come along for the ride because Texas beat Alabama early in the season. If Alabama's going to be in, Texas had to be in. The committee was hoping at least Florida State lost and maybe even Alabama. Because they're like, shit, Alabama win, we got to do something that we never done before. Jump a number 18 to the number 4 slot and jump the number 1 seed out of the top 4. Normally, because I said it, yo, if Alabama win, they beat Georgia, Georgia still got to be in the top 4. So you basically shitting on what Georgia has done the past 2 years. Back-to-back national champions, going for a three-peat. You basically just shit 20-something game winning streak. You basically say that don't even matter. We got to put Alabama in because Alabama beat y'all by 3 points. By 3 points. And we got to put Texas in because Texas also won their conference, but they also beat Alabama. Come on, dog. I was like, whoa. But for Alabama fans, what I do have to say, shout out to y'all for having a valid face card. I don't think if Georgia would have did that to Alabama, both Georgia and Alabama would have been in the top 4. But if Ohio State would have did it to Michigan, I don't think that would be the scenario. I don't think we'll jump from number 8 to number 4. And the purpose was, because I was like, yo, why Alabama probably didn't jump Ohio State after we lost to Michigan? Well, Alabama barely beat Auburn. So that's another thing that I'm like, yo, Alabama did kind of have an unnecessarily close game to Auburn. Oh, it's the Iron Bowl. It's at Auburn. That always happens. Players always get hurt, too. You can't punish a whole team just because one player got hurt. So I haven't spoke about it. Like I said, y'all was writing whole paragraphs and having stories about the playoff committee, their history about this scenario. All I had to say was Florida State deserved to be in. Georgia, I can see how you might want to argue that, but I never seen a team lose in their conference championship by 3 points and got put out the top 4. Just so calmly got put out the top 4. I didn't agree with it, but who am I to say? And if you want to be logical, I just gave y'all my explanation, but it all comes down to money and ratings. Harbaugh versus Saban, Alabama versus Michigan, that's the story. If you want to say, yo, we've seen this happen, the other side of things, Tyler, could be, yo, if Florida State did get in, they would have got their ass whooped, which is probably You know what I'm saying? That can also happen. But at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, that's just a prediction. You still got to award the team for going undefeated and winning their conference. Whatever happens after that happens, but hey, man, they was undefeated. They won. They didn't lose a game all year, with or without their starting quarterback. It is what it is, though. But money and ratings, Alabama, Michigan, we're going to see it. Rose Bowl. As an Ohio State fan, I could care less who wins. That's for both games, not just this. I really could care less. If I had to make a guess, I think the story is more of, can Michigan finally get there to the national championship game under Harbaugh, rather than can Saban continue his dominance of the college football world. I will say that. Saban with this Alabama team, that's a story, but I think the bigger story is with everything Michigan has gone through this season, can they finally get to the national championship game? Last year, we thought it was a perfect example last year. Oh, Michigan is going to beat TCU. We could probably have an Ohio State versus Michigan national championship game. Ohio State lost to Georgia last field goal kick. Bam, the national championship game, Georgia-TCU was over before it even started. That's a prediction. We don't know what can happen when you get the ball on the field. But that's just my perception. But we'll see how it goes. With the championship DNA of Alabama get back to the mountaintop, or with Michigan, after all the fighting and clawing they've been doing this season, finally get to a national championship game. We'll see how it goes. Next game, Texas, Washington, Sugar Bowl. Battle of the quarterbacks, in my opinion. Penix Jr. I said Phoenix last time. I was thinking about Ray Phoenix from AEW. Random, I know. But Michael Penix Jr. versus Quinn Ewers from Texas. I think the biggest difference of this team would be Steve Sarkisian play calling. I think the play calling from Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian will be the difference maker. And I got Texas winning that game versus either Alabama or Michigan. I guess I'll say I'd rather see Texas versus Michigan probably, honestly. I'd rather see Texas versus Michigan. We'll see how it play out, but me personally, I think Florida State should have been in. I think Florida State should have been in. I think Georgia could have been in. And that could have also canceled out the whole scenario of what Texas and Alabama, conference champion, one-loss team, but the one loss, this team beat the other team. Cancel that out. This team undefeated. This team has won 2 national championships back-to-back, going for a three-peat. Yo, I know y'all mad, but it is what it is. It's a 12-team tournament next year. We'll see y'all next year. That's just my personal opinion. So we'll see how it play out. Ohio State, go ahead and get this win against Missouri, end the season on a high note. A lot more to be determined in terms of the offseason, and we'll also see how the college football playoff games come out. Like I said, no episode next week. I'll be back the 9th, talk about everything. So hope everyone had a safe New Year's. Y'all stay safe. Be mindful of your surroundings. If you're going out to any ball drops, anything, don't be by yourself. Like I said, just be aware of your surroundings overall. I'll catch y'all in 2024. Keep me in your prayers. I'll do the same for y'all. Salute.